fatal heart impact, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember, you're discreet out. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kiru's show here, and now, whenever we last left off, we had Izuku Midoriya. He has just undergone 3.5 years of training, along with Momo, Mina, Bakugo, a few others, and Midoriya's parents. Now, within this amount of time, Midoriya has found a way to force Momo into Super Saiyan, along with him and her working towards mastering the form. Meanwhile, with Hasashi and Inko, they decided to go to a different route. Instead of learning Super Saiyan, they wanted to increase their Kaioken output, since the possibility is endless. And it's just a matter of the fact is that if your body can handle it, you can do it. Now, along with that, Midoriya himself, he did also begin to learn about Hakai energy. Now, Midoriya is the god of destruction in training, and since he does not have the special requirements for it yet, or he hasn't fully given himself to it, he has not been able to master it. He can use the ki. However, he only has 2 shots before his body will give out on him. The wear and tear is worse than Kaioken, and might be almost as damaging as Ultra Instinct was whenever he first used it as a child. Now, excuse me. With all that being said, let us begin. It is the final days of their training, and Midoriya, he has woken up, getting up and actually stretching, as today he is a Super Saiyan. He's been in this transformation for roughly about 6 months, and sometimes he forgets to turn it off. Now, with that, Midoriya is thinking, Super Saiyan, the ability is quite strong, and it is quite potent in power. However, this doesn't feel right. Last time I went Super Saiyan, I felt, well, nothing. I barely remember the power. Along with that, my muscles, they felt like they were bulging. Sort of like Kaioken. Now, as Midoriya does put on his training gi, he actually does go out. And he decides to power up. Now, he tries to remember that feeling, and he focuses on it, as he lets his power explode. Now, as soon as Midoriya does do that, everyone on the planet currently can feel Midoriya. Hasashi and Inko actually looking in that direction, as they actually do somewhat smile a little bit, before beginning to make their way over, along with Momo, feeling the area close by her beginning to shake, as she does go out to see what Midoriya is currently doing. As Midoriya, he's just standing there out in this field, powering up and beginning to scream as loud as he can. Now, you actually do begin to see Midoriya, his body begin to bulk up a little bit more in muscle, and begin to somewhat almost explode from his outfit. Now, you can tell that the sleeves on Midoriya's shirt and top portion where his biceps are beginning to tear, And then there's the fact that whenever Midoriya does begin to just keep going, you do see him just get bigger and bigger. Midoriya stopping after his shirt explodes off of his body, as he actually does fall forwards and power down a little bit. Now, Midoriya is thinking. He felt something there. What was that? A power-up above Super Saiyan? No. It was something more. It was a higher level. More power. He did feel stronger. Now, as Midoriya is thinking this, he's wondering. He was also going further again. That must be what he went to whenever he fought against Janemba. Then he was going to something else. Something past it. Am I close to hitting another wall? No. Is there another wall? What would that be? Ascended? No, wait. That would be... Let's see. Super Saiyan... The other form... Super Saiyan 2? No, that doesn't sound right. Grade 2. Then that would probably be Grade 3. Interesting. Now, as Midoriya does stand up, he does walk back inside, going to get a replacement shirt, as Vados is currently monitoring their progress. Her actually looking over at the world of the Kais, and being a bit more impressed by what she does see. Mina has been learning quite well. Now, with all of that, Midoriya does head back to Earth, using instant transmission. Now, as soon as Midoriya does get back to Earth, his parents shortly arrive afterwards. Him and Momo both arriving at the same time. Now, Vados does actually begin the process of bringing Mina to Earth as well, instructing Mina that she has done very well, but for right now, hide that little ability. Let's see what the Saiyans have gotten done for themselves, along with instructing her that do not let him know about that man yet. But Miss Vados, why? Well, Midoriya himself does not realize it, but he's begun to learn Hakai energy, or the key of the gods, specialized in destruction. Destruction? Why, yes. However, Midoriya himself does have a long, long journey ahead if he does plan to surpass Beerus. And I believe that before the end of his journey, he may get there one day. Now, with that being said, Midoriya, he does actually see Bakugo. Whenever he does, teleport straight in. Now, Midoriya does actually begin to look through his house. And it does seem like a few things have changed. And Midoriya, he simply just walks outside, seeing Bakugo and a few other people actually training there, as someone does actually mention that he's standing there. No. With that, you do see quite a few people. Melissa Shields, the one in charge of helping to develop and create these implants. She herself was part of the program years ago, after her father was critically injured and put into a bed. Now he's up and walking around. However, around 80% of his body does compose of these implants. Meanwhile, for Melissa, she herself is about 95% technology. You may not be able to tell from looking at her But if you were to try and, well, let's just say look for something, or look for blood, a heartbeat, or anything like that, it would be harder to find. In fact, Midoriya does notice that he's barely getting any signature of life from her, meaning any energy or ki. It does seem like everyone else might have some, but they're just a little bit harder to detect. Now, I'm aware that they probably cannot sense androids in Dragon Ball, but if they are still at least somewhat human, I want to say that it would most likely be a faint ki source, or most likely just very under the radar. However, with Midoriya's constant training in ki, he would at least be able to feel some sort of disturbance. Or most likely, well, what is it? If a planet can give off energy, I feel like an android would be able to too. So Midoriya can just feel their energy that way. Think of them like moving trees, kind of. There's still energy moving around there, but it's just weaker than a normal person. Now, I feel like I'm gonna need that explanation because I know someone's probably gonna comment that androids you can't sense them, but that's part of the story for right now. Now, with all of that being said, Midoriya is introduced to Bakugo once again, Todoroki, Kirishima, and Kendo. Him trying to explain that these are all the people that he can gather. The rest of the Class 1A assholes didn't really want to listen to him. Then there's the whole fact that, well, Melissa here does have a few questions. Now, Midoriya does explain to Melissa that they don't really have time for questions. But you need to listen. There's a few anomalies I would like to clear up. Anomalies? Well, yes. Time travel, Saiyans, space, an emperor? What the fuck is going on? Uh, okay. I can explain that later. Along with that, what's this about you being a god of destruction? You're the Earth's defender. Yeah, that's a different story. For right now, we should just wait. Wait? Wait for what? Roya turning and saying, her daughter. Melissa freezing in her tracks. So Midoriya has seen that clip. That is what she is worried about. Now, Melissa herself, she's gone through that laptop dozens of times. And she even found a encrypted message that only she would be able to read. Now, anyone else these lines and data would look different or distorted. However, if you were to uncode it a certain way, you would discover that it's a program her father taught her ages ago, whenever she first got into developing computer technology, or coding. Now, once she did that, she did actually find a clip of herself with a chalkboard in front of her, along with what seemed to be a small tube. Now, with all that out of the way, the clip begins to play. And there's Melissa, saying hello. Okay. If you have found this video clip, then that does mean that you are aware of what she will be, or is. Better yet, who she is made of. Listen, Melissa. It's quite complicated. Technically, she is your daughter. And she is Midoriya's daughter. That part's surprising her. As you just say, but, being by writing down his name, then her name. Before then stating that she also does have the DNA of Mina and Momo, the other Saiyan that is around him. Now, with all of that, she also does write a few more things down. The girl's power is insane. And in fact, if she had to estimate it, she would estimate that if she were properly trained, she would be the Earth's defender for their time. And she would be able to defeat the threat that killed Midoriya. Now, she explains that if she is to inform them about this, which she believes that she will, to do so very carefully. If they are to change their own timeline, they do not know what repercussions it could have on them in the future. In fact, if at all possible, or if she can, keep this data secret. She is only telling her because either Hope will slip up, hopefully not, or that Midoriya will find out if something does go wrong. Now, with that being said, now, they do begin to wait. The threat that should arrive. Now, with that, 2 days will pass. Midoriya and everyone are currently on the lookout, and they're waiting for the threat to show up, informing Kami about it, and him being quite surprised. Now, eventually, Hope does arrive back in the future, and she does show up to the lookout, surprising everybody to see this mysterious traveler. Now, Bakugo simply just walks over and asks her if she is really from the future, to which she does nod, explaining that if she was lying to him, then she wouldn't have come back, and that the data she has is quite proven to be it. Now, she then goes on saying that she was informed by her mother about him, though. Your name is Bakugo Katsuki, if I'm correct. My mom did say that you were quite hot-headed back in the program. Him getting angry, and yelling that he's not hot-headed. Now, with that, she actually does walk back over, and she does actually stare at Melissa for a second. To which Melissa just walks over, and gives her a hug, introducing herself and saying that it's glad to meet you. This is sort of weird. Hi, Mom. Bakugo having a look of surprise on his face. Wait. Oh shit. That's still trippy. This is serious. Bakugo then going to ask, when exactly is this threat going to arrive? What day? Now, Hope simply just begins to explain. The threat should arrive sometime within the next day or two. Originally, that's when Midoriya was killed. However, since he isn't out in space anymore, they can assume they have at least bought a few days. So, for right now, they should continue training. Her asking if there's any way that they can train harder. Now, Midoriya actually does point out that they do have the room Spirit and Time, but that place is crazy right now. Exactly how crazy can one room be? Bakugo says, as he walks through the door. Not sure what he's expecting. However, being met by an infinite void was the last thing he expected. Now, as he does go to walk out there, Midoriya tells him to stop. Bakugo not listening as he walks out into 100 times Earth's normal gravity, smashing onto the ground. Now, as Bakugo does struggle to get back onto his feet, he does eventually do so, turning around and trying to take a step forwards, back into the room where the gravity is nullified. Now, as soon as he does so, he just begins to ask exactly how the hell is any of this possible? Mina stepping forwards and saying that that's possible because of her magic. You're kidding me, right? Fuck. Okay. Anything else we should know about? No, I think we're good. Now, as they begin to take turns training in the room of spirit and time. Actually, no, they all train together in the room of spirit and time. The time dilation is still muted from the last time they used the time chamber. And with that, a few days do pass, and the rising threat will arrive soon. However, as they are doing that, the threat to the timeline, or this timeline, he arrived years ago, and he was ready. He didn't go quite as far back as he wanted to, but he did go back far enough. As we do have the threats, who will hatch from an egg sometime soon, and begin to feed on the inhabitants of the world. A world filled with android or cybernetically enhanced humans. Now, with all of that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing night. I'll catch you guys in the next part.